Hey guys, it's Jay from Skull Gaming Network. Welcome to another Retro Bowl video, and today I am over on my Notre Dame Retro Bowl save to talk to you guys about wide receivers. Officially, this is going to be a wide receiver guide where I'm going to go through the position, go through the four main stats, and tell you what I consider most important from 1 through 4. And I'm on the Notre Dame save because I have literally my dream wide receiver on this roster, so I'm going to show you what the perfect wide receiver in my eyes looks like, along with some other decent examples, and we'll kind of break things down from there. But to start off, let's go to free agents. The best free agent wide receiver we possibly could get, now I'm obviously not going to get him, is a 2-star receiver, Leonard Horn. But let's talk about the stats and what I consider most important and why. Number 1 is going to be speed, because speed kills, especially with wide receivers. You're going to want a wide receiver that, if they don't have 10 speed already, has the potential to get to 10 speed by leveling up. Once you have that speed maxed out and your receiver gets the ball, you'll be able to make a juke and explode past the defensive back. If you're going for the deep ball, once they catch the ball, they're going to have the speed to outrun the defense for longer. Yes, I know there's the memes about the defense tracking your players down, but a 10-speed receiver is very hard to track down. So speed, number 1, most important. Then number 2, I'm going to say is stamina for wide receivers. Why am I going to say stamina? The higher stamina you have, the longer that your receiver will be able to maintain that top-end speed throughout a game. So instead of just throwing one deep ball to a receiver and then they run out of steam for the rest of the game, you can hit them 2 or 3 or possibly 4 times before their speed starts to tail off significantly if you have really good stamina. Now, a 10-speed wide receiver will never be able to also have 10 stamina in my experience, but like a 10-speed receiver with at least 7 stamina is really good. If you get a 10-speed, 8 stamina wide receiver, that's as good as I've seen. Obviously, if you can get 10 and 9 or 10 and 10, that's the dream. Up third is catching. Why is catching below speed and stamina, even though that's the wide receiver's main job? Well, it's as simple as the deep ball is king. Catching the ball is secondary. If you have a fast, high stamina receiver with low catching, they might drop a few deep balls here and there. I've had it happen to me in the past. It sucks. But what I will say is having that speed and stamina, you're generally going to hit those deep balls, and if you miss it once, you're still likely to get another shot at it. So that's why catching is third most important. At the same time, having your catching rating as high as possible is still very valuable because you don't want to waste precious time on the clock if you're playing in a league with drop passes, right? Or let's say it's 4th and 10 and you really need that conversion. You don't want to throw your deep ball up to your fast receiver and have them drop it and have a turnover on downs, not because you made a bad throw, not because the defense made a play, but because your receiver simply didn't have the hands to haul the ball in. And then 4th for me is going to be strength. Now there certainly is value to strength, but for a wide receiver, it is below the other 3. Because, yeah, it's nice when your wide receivers can stiff arm a defender and break a tackle, but that's not how you're using your wide receivers. You're getting them to the outside, they're matching up against defensive backs that aren't very strong either, and most of the tackles they're going to break by jumping or by you doing a good job with strafing. So Leonard Horn here, speed and stamina have the 2 highest potentials, followed by catching, and strength is 4th. So it's a decent build given he's a 2-star with only 3.5-star potential. But I want to show you now the 2 wide receivers I have on this save. I'm going to show you one that's really good, and after that I'm going to show you the one that I consider to be quote-unquote perfect. I'm going to break down what I like about each one and why. So we're going to start off with Greedy Slater. He is my near perfect, but not actually perfect wide receiver. You can see he has 10 speed, he has 7 stamina, he has 9 catching, he has 6 strength. Now the top end speed, again, most important, he's got it in spades. 7 stamina, it's not quite that 8 or more stamina that I really want, but 7 stamina will hold up for 2 or 3 long catches a game. 9 out of 10 catching, he's hardly ever going to drop a pass, and especially a wide open deep ball. And then 6 strength, Again, he's not trying to do much with the strength, but he has enough that he can break a couple tackles here and there. Now, this is a save that I play on medium, and if we look at his stats, this is his last season. In 75 games so far, he's averaging 40.1 yards per catch, 21,000 yards, 369 touchdowns. Nice on the ending. Longest catch of 95. This season, his longest catch is 90. In his last game, 5 catches, 161 yards, 4 touchdowns. So you can see he's a very productive receiver. 525 catches to 369 touchdowns gives him a catch-to-touchdown ratio of just over 70%, which on medium, almost every play should be a touchdown. So 70%, that is pretty solid. And again, he's not even my perfect wide receiver. He's just a really solid wide receiver that I like a lot. Because the perfect wide receiver is Foster Rogers. Let's look at Foster Rogers. He has that same 10 speed, but he has 8 stamina instead of 7. He has 10 catching instead of 9, and he has the same 6 strength. Now let's look at his stats. This season, 120 catches, 84 of them for touchdowns. He's got 1 season left. He's already over 16,000 yards. He's at 281 touchdowns on 407 catches, which is actually 1% lower than Greedy Slater. He's got a 69% touchdown rate. You can see he also is getting targeted much more frequently and producing at nearly the same level. And he is the perfect wide receiver. Why? He's got the elite speed. He's got as good a stamina as you're going to find on a wide receiver of his caliber to make that speed last longer into the game. He's got 10 catching. He doesn't drop passes. And then 6 strength. Again, he's not trying to beat anyone with the strength, but he's got enough strength that he can make some plays happen. So that's going to do it for the wide receiver guide, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, be sure to leave a like. If you're new around here, subscribe for more Retro Bowl content. In the comments, did you find this guide helpful? Once again, most important is speed. Second is stamina, even though you're never going to get 10 stamina when you have a 10 speed wide receiver. Third is catching, and fourth is strength. Hopefully you found this guide helpful. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments. If there's any other guides you want to see, leave those suggestions in the comments as well. Hopefully I explained fairly well and demonstrated the skill that comes with having these stats prioritized correctly and getting wide receivers of these archetypes. Again, the dream archetype is this Foster Rogers. We're going to call it the 10-6-10-8. Meaning 10 catching, 6 strength, 10 speed, 8 stamina. With all of that being said, that's it for this video, guys. I'm G from Skull Gaming Network. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And until next time, and as always, peace out.